African is ready to fight his own battle and show that, after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
Ghana, we now have freedom. Ghana, land of freedom. Toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors. Toils of the brave which have brought results. Kwame, the star of Ghana. Nkrumah, star of Ghana. Everybody toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors. Toils of the brave which have brought results.
The eyes of the world and all Africa are focused upon us and our deliberations at this time. What we do and what we achieve will either reflect credit to the peoples of this continent or justify the assertion that the African is incapable of managing alone his own affairs. I pay special tribute to the vision and forethought Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Prime Minister of Ghana, for having proposed at this conference, the first of its kind in the history of Africa.
Osagyefo, title of Redeemer, bestowed upon Nkrumah as he had the vision to bring Africans nearer to establish unity, to make Garvey's dream of a united Africa come true, as he was the founding member of the OAU. Spending time in the West was necessary to grant him the tools, as Nkrumah refused to be to the Europeans that was oppressing his land another African stooge. Spending a decade in the States, in Harlem is where he developed a connection to the diaspora, is where he encountered the teachings of Marcus Garvey that lit a fire in him to move forward. Forward to free his homeland and an aim to unite the African world, as he was often accused of pursuing the impossible. But like Nkrumah said, he couldn't believe in the impossibility of an African union no more than obtaining African freedom. Nkrumah gathered what he learned from the West, went back to his homeland, tweaked it to make Ghana and Africa the best. The best it could be, as he first took power in the Gold Coast, as he wanted to revive the African personality temporarily submerged by the colonial powers.
We hope that your stay in our midst will be happy and enjoyable. And we pray that divine providence will bless and guide our deliberations so that we may arrive at decisions which will be to the mutual benefit of the peace, happiness, and prosperity of our various countries.
This personality, Nkrumah believed, would awake and unite the Africans and our peoples around the world, as we have a common experience, past, and culture from which we could learn from each other so that we can build united solidly on all fronts, as we've seen since we have been in contact preventing European stunts.
Had the miseries of our continent ended with the slave trade, we might perhaps have found a means of recovering from the wounds which this system inflicted upon us. But alas, a new misfortune, colonialism, befell us. While the slave trade took away from Africa shiploads of our people, colonialism enslaved them in their own territories. We repudiate and condemn all forms of racialism. There are on the continent of Africa more dependent territories than independent sovereign nations. Therefore, the free, independent states of Africa have a responsibility to hasten the total liberation of Africa.
With the powerful political machine Nkrumah, the working class and women created the CPP as he was able to liberate his country from the UK powers that be. This was a victory for the African world, both home and abroad, as this inspired many movements on the continent and in the diaspora. As he states, all people of African descent in the West belong to the African nation to come, a symbol of black liberation where leaders like King, Malcolm, and Stokely drew inspiration from. On the continent, Nkrumah spearheaded the spirit of freedom across the nations as the shackles of colonialism was weakening with positive action. Inspired leaders like Biko, Sankara, Lumumba, and Sobekwe as each African nation raised its independence flag in rapid pace. Nkrumah fought against white supremacy through the arts and culture, as he saw this was a key ingredient to bringing the new African forward. As diasporans of the African race, we can decide the crisis of our identity. As Nkrumah himself said, "I'm African because Africa was born in me." He understood the traditional heritage of the woman, leading with great discernment, as he had women in positions of power throughout his government. Nkrumah helped establish the non-alignment movement to weaken the major powers' bloc bravado, because looking out for our own interests should be our first motto. Ref Bush said Nkrumah was a living representation of our hopes and ideals, as he was without question an influential Pan-Africanist with unmatched zeal. As a people, we must strive to push Nkrumah's vision with vigor. As that famous CPP slogan says, forward ever, backwards never.
This day will never be forgotten, the 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully get your independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay, the 6th of March, Independence Day. Dr. Nkrumah went out his way to make the Gold Coast what it is today. He endeavored continually to bring us freedom and liberty. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay, the 6th of March, Independence Day. The doctor began as agitator, then he became popular leader. He continued to go further, and now he is Ghana's Prime Minister. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay, the 6th of March, Independence Day. The national flag is a lovely scene with beautiful colors, red, gold and green, and a black star in the center representing the freedom of Africa. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay, the 6th of March, Independence Day. Congratulations from Haile Selassie was proudly received by everybody. He particularly commented on the doctor's move to self-government. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay, the 6th of March, Independence Day.